Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about fundamental rights, which are one of the very important part under Indian Constitution. So when we talk about your all degree courses and also the competitive exams and all, this particular concept will be very important. So this is very important for all the courses and also for competitive exams. Yeah, when we talk about this fundamental rights, so what are these fundamental rights actually? So it's nothing but the basic freedoms given by the Indian Constitution to each and every citizen of our country. Okay, these are the basic freedoms given by the Constitution to the people of the country. So, under our Article 14 to 32 of the Indian Constitution deals with this fundamental rights. And under Part 3, we can actually, they actually mentioned about the fundamental rights. So, in your competitive examination, these questions are very common. Which are the articles deals with fundamental rights? Okay, we should be aware about these articles. Article 14 to 32 of the Indian Constitution deals with fundamental rights, and under which part fundamental rights have been actually mentioned. So part 3 of the Indian Constitution deals with this fundamental rights. So the very simple meaning of fundamental rights, it is nothing but the privileges given by the Constitution to the people of the country. So they are called as fundamental rights. So what are the features of the fundamental rights? So fundamental rights are there, the meaning we understood. What are the features? Even the fundamental rights, it contains certain amount of features. So when we talk about the features, these rights are nothing but they are protected and guaranteed by the Constitution. Okay, so fundamental rights are not very simple kind of rights. Okay, they are protected by the Constitution, and also they are actually given by the Constitution or guaranteed by the Constitution. But certain important limitation also we could see. Actually fundamental rights are not absolute. Okay, there are actually limitation. Even in certain important occasion, Parliament can actually curtail or limit the use of fundamental rights by the people of the country. And one more very important feature of fundamental rights, these rights are justiciable or justiciable. Okay, fundamental rights are justiciable. The Constitution allows the person to move directly to the Supreme Court for the enforcement of his fundamental rights. And when they are actually violated or restricted by some other person, definitely they can actually move to the court. Okay, they can challenge before the court. And in some of the occasion, even suspension of fundamental rights we can actually see. This is one more very important feature. Okay, like for example, when the country is in emergency situation. So imagine country is engaged in war or national emergency is there. Then in such kind of situation, fundamental rights of the citizens can be suspended. So that is also very important, except Article 20 and 21 of the Constitution. Then restriction of fundamental rights. Okay, so we could notice some of the restriction also. The fundamental rights can be restricted during military rule in any particular area. So these are some of the very important features of fundamental rights. Okay, under that we can see how absolute all these rights are also, and what are the limitations, conditions for the enjoyment of fundamental rights. So when I talk about this fundamental rights, how many fundamental rights are there? Fundamental rights have been classified into 6 important categories. First one is right to equality. Article 14 to 18 of the Indian Constitution deals with right to equality. All these articles are very important. Individually they ask questions. Which article or which are the articles deals with constitutional remedy, which are the articles deals with right to religion. So each individual article should be aware for the examination purpose. First one, right to equality, that is article 14 to 18. Right to freedom, second important fundamental right, that is given under article 19 to 22. Third one, right against exploitation, article 23 and 24 of Indian Constitution deals with right against exploitation. Then right to freedom of religion, article 25 to 28 of the Indian Constitution deals with right to freedom of religion. Then fifth one, educational cultural rights, that is actually given under Article 29 and 30. So last one, right to constitutional remedies, Article 32 of the Indian Constitution, that deals with right to constitutional remedies. That is basically to protect our fundamental rights. Okay, so Article 14 to 32 of the Indian Constitution so deals with all these fundamental rights. Okay, so you can see Article 14 to 18, then Article 19 to 22, Article 23 and 24, then 25 to 28, 29 to 30. But which is article is actually missing? We could notice Article 31 of the Indian Constitution, that is actually missing. What it was actually? So that was actually right to property. So right now, right to property, that is not actually the fundamental right of the Indian citizen. That is removed from the list of fundamental rights. That is actually the normal civil right of the individual. Okay, so that is removed from the list of fundamental rights, and right now we have only 6 important fundamental rights. Let us see each and every right individually. We'll start with first very important fundamental right, that is right to equality. Article 14 to 18 of the Indian Constitution deals with right to equality. So under right to equality, we should actually know the each and every individual rights. Which are the articles or which are the important rights will come under the first very important fundamental right, right to equality. In the competitive examination, they ask question about which article deals with the abolition of titles, which article deals with the abolition of untouchability. That is why students should be aware about the individual articles also and individual rights also. So, under right to equality, Article 14 of the Indian Constitution deals with equality before law. So, it says that each and every citizen of the country, they are equal before the law, okay, irrespective of their religion, irrespective of their caste, region, gender, sex, etc. Okay, nobody can be discriminated. Each and every one are equal before the law. Then Article 15, prohibition of discrimination. Once again, this particular article says that, so discrimination or making discrimination or following discrimination. So it is completely removed under this Article 15. Nobody can be discriminated on the basis of the religion, on the basis of the gender, on the basis of the caste, on the basis of the region which they actually belong. Okay. Then Article 16, equality of opportunity in public employment. Once again, each and every citizen of the country, they are eligible for public employment. Okay. So this is okay. Once again, in that particular category also, nobody can be discriminated on the basis of religion, caste, gender, sex, etc. Article 17 is very, very important article. So this practice of untouchability, that is completely abolished under that particular article. Okay, abolition of untouchability. Article 17 of the Indian Constitution. If somebody practices this, definitely they will be punished by the law of the land. Then Article 18 is also very, very important. Abolition of titles. Any kind of titles. Okay, before the existence or before the creation of the constitution, before 1947, or we could actually probably before 1950, people used to keep titles like Rao Bahadur or Raja Rajadi. Okay, such kind of titles were allowed during that time. Okay, right now we cannot actually, the common people, we cannot actually keep titles like that. That is to maintain uniformity among all the people of the country. So all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 freedoms and articles are given under the first very important fundamental right of each and every individual of the country, right to equality. We have learned the first very important fundamental right. So in the next video, we will learn about the other types of fundamental rights. Thank you.